This next story is just hilarious, but it's also infuriating in a way, and I'll tell you why. Donald Trump's former defense secretary, Jim Mattis, who was always one of the people with a head on his shoulders, other than being a total tool of militarism, Jim Mattis was more or less sensible, more or less connected to reality when it came to Trump being a clueless person. Mattis reportedly said, we're now learning, back when Trump wanted to do that ridiculous 4th of July military parade with the tanks that would destroy the roads and the entire thing, Jim Mattis reportedly said, I'd rather swallow acid. That's a quote. I'd rather swallow acid than watch Trump's military parade. Now, I like this because it confirms that Mattis not only had a sense of how ridiculous Trump's actions were, he also had sort of a clever sense of humor. The book we're talking about is called Holding the Line: Inside Trump's Pentagon with Secretary Mattis, which was written by retired Navy Commander Guy Snodgrass. Snodgrass was Mattis's communications director and head speechwriter, and the book has a ton of interesting stuff in it, not the least of which is Mattis's preference for swallowing acid over watching Donald Trump's military parade. The book also says that Trump wanted to, quote, screw Amazon CEO and turbo billionaire Jeff Bezos by keeping Amazon out of the bidding process for a Pentagon contract for some kind of big networked computing, networking IT installation. So the trend of most of what's in the book is in line with everything we've seen Donald Trump do, which is there's always a personal angle to it. Trump is president and he's supposed to be doing what's best for the United States, but Pentagon networking contract, I want to screw Jeff Bezos. Military aid to Ukraine, I want Ukraine to smear Biden for the benefit of my 2020 reelection campaign. And the real embarrassment is that for anything we can say about Mattis now, he understands Trump is bonkers. He wanted to swallow acid instead of watch the parade, whatever. Where was Mattis earlier, right? Why didn't Mattis stand up to Trump sooner? And we know the answer. And unfortunately, Trump did untold damage through decisions that Mattis could have at least tried to stand up to Trump about. He would have been fired or forced to resign, obviously, but he could have done it. Mattis has buyer's remorse from working for Donald Trump. But where was that assessment at the start? Trump, we didn't have to wait and see who Donald Trump was going to be as president. Trump as president is exactly who we knew him to be the day he hired Jim Mattis. And Mattis went along with it for a long time. And it's important to accept the accurate statements of these former Trump officials to the extent that they're accurate now in hindsight, but we can't allow them to rehabilitate their images so easily. We discussed this yesterday on the bonus show, actually. We talked about it with regard to Sean Spicer, former just embarrassingly bad, dishonest press secretary, who now is rehabbing his image on, I didn't even know this, Pat told me, on Dancing with the Stars. Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who is, I don't really know what she's doing, but she could potentially at some point be governor of Arkansas, who knows? A long list of people who, as soon as they leave the administration and they sort of seem to be connected with reality, we often immediately improve our opinion of them. It's great that they're recognizing it now, but the truth is they probably recognized it then. They said nothing. They saw only their personal career potential that was associated with participating in this completely abortive presidency, and we should not allow them to rehabilitate their image in the way that they are so obviously trying to do at this point in time. Remind me who else there is. I mean, I know Spicer and Huckabee are two of the big players. Rex Tillerson, although he doesn't really need to rehab his image, he's ready to retire, at least financially, if not ideologically. But there are others, and we've got to be really careful about allowing them to now just be seen as normal people, because there's nothing normal about going along with it for the weeks, months, or years that they did before they said, I can't do this anymore, or Trump kicked them out.